there's 5 model families, 5 families in the Harley Davidson lineup. Remember, 5 families, just like the Godfather. There are 32 models this year. Each family, the Godfather's 5 families. 5 model families. So you've got the Touring family, the Softail family, the Dyna. Don't say Dana, it's Dyna model family.
Dana's your sister.
The Dana. The V-Rod looks like a drag racing motorcycle. That one's pretty easy to discern. And then the Sportster model family, which has just had its 50th anniversary in 2007. Sportster's been around a long time. Evel Knievel rode Dynas to glory, you know, throughout his whole career. So some of them have been around quite a while. Tell them some of the differences aesthetically between the model families, Andy.
Probably one of the easiest way to discern as far as the model families. You'll see external shocks on all but one of the model families, which is the Softail. You'll notice back here you've got a triangular shaped swing arm, and there's no shocks offering absorption between your fender strut and your swing arm. You'll notice that there are on all the other model families. So when you're at Fuel for bike night on Thursday nights with your sponsor, you're walking through with your girlfriends, you say, "Hey, I like that Softail," and they all are, no, because you don't see the shocks. Now, it still has shocks. Obviously, it's absorbing the bumps. You notice the rear wheel coming up in the fender. The shocks are actually underneath, between the frame and the swing arm, essentially doing the same thing, just in the opposite action. Instead of extruding, they're actually going inside to absorb the shocks. Similar setup, just a different application.
Not to be confused with hardtails. There's really no such model family as a hardtail, but what a hardtail refers to is just basically a rigid mounted motorcycle with no suspension in it whatsoever. So in 1984 they released the Softail, did Harley Davidson, to be reminiscent of that 1960s style, what they call hardtail, with this real naked kind of see-through look in the rear end.
And what you'll find as far as similarities between the hardtail and the Softail, even though they're totally different, when you go from your neck bearing where the front end actually adheres to the motorcycle, you can follow that backbone down through the tank, under the seat, following that same line through all the way to your rear axle. Actually very reminiscent of the hardtail. None of that moved on the hardtail. So a lot of times there were springs under the seat. Smaller tank, no storage, less plentiful on the seat. So if you're running around town, in-seat challenge, first start now, something that's lighter weight and easy to maneuver and manipulate, the Sportster model family is a great application. Challenge. Not only ride quality and performance, but also monetarily, being the entry-level price-wise of the Harley lineup as well. When we move to the Dyna, essentially it's a Sportster on steroids. Very similar in design with the wishbone style swing arm, external shocks, still a little bit shorter on the wheelbase, but everything's kind of juiced. It's a heavier bike. It's got the full V-twin, so you're going from essentially 1200 cc's to pushing 1700 cc's with the full 103-inch air-cooled 45-degree V-twin and the 6-speed transmission, as opposed to the 5.
And the big similarity between the two is the weight to power ratio. This has a lot more power, it's a little bit heavier, almost the same weight to power ratio. So you've got a lighter bike here on a 1200 cc motor. You know, a little bit heavier bike, but you know, a lot lighter than something like this with the same size motor as the Touring models.
And still retaining a lot of the handling characteristics that you get out of the lighter Sportster. So handles is good, got a lot of power, but it has more substance as well. So when you're on the highway running 70 mile an hour, cresting the front bumper of a 53-foot Freightliner, there's an 18-mile-an-hour crosswind. You got a couple hundred more pounds underneath you. You don't feel like it's going to shove you off the highway.
That's scary.
Been there, done that.
That's a real life scenario.
Wow.
We've already kind of touched